Hello, my name is Bethany and this is my channel, Theni's Thoughts. The video you're going to see was filmed before the events of the death of George Floyd and the events of the protests of the Black Lives Matter movement. So I wanted to address that and just mention that I'm going to link all of the places that you can donate in the subscription link, all of the petitions that you can sign, as well as I think right now it's a really important time to support Black creators. So I'm going to link some of the people of color booktubers that I have as well in the description to follow. I think right now is a time to educate ourselves in the best way we know how, by reading books. And I want to continue to support that in any small possible way I can. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Bethany and this is my channel Theni's Thoughts. Today I'm going to just do a brief recap of my Contemporaryathon, which I only read 3 books, but because I was reading other things, I had book club on Tuesday, so I was trying to finish up my book club book. I didn't get as much done as I probably would on a normal weekend, but I did read 3 and I wanted to talk about them. If you want to know what my TBR was, I can link it up above of what my Contemporaryathon TBR was. I actually added a book because I was just having so much fun that I decided to add one more. These were all on my Kindle, and the first book that I read was Beach Read by Emily Henry. The hype is real, folks. It's been all over BookTube, all over Book Twitter. Everyone's giving it rave reviews. I was really excited about it, and it was really good. I don't know, I guess I believe the hype, but so I had high expectation that I also was like, let's see if it's as good as everyone says it is. And it was. Beach Read, for those who don't know, is a romance novel where January is a romance writer, woman writer, and Gus is a male writer, literary, serious fiction writer, and they live in beach houses for the summer and they swap genres to write. Gus is kind of like January considers Gus her rival. Gus doesn't really consider her rival, but she considers him her rival. And so she's a little bit competitive with him. So the banter was so good. Their chemistry was really, really great. I think probably one of the things I really liked about it, but I also didn't think it really delved into it deeper as I wanted it to. But there was also a mention of like the stereotypes of women writing and male writing. Like male, he's the literary writer and she writes women's fiction, was considered less than. I really liked that she mentions that and she kind of like challenges that concept a little bit. I have a brief discussion about how if she was just a man, it wouldn't be the same thing, you know? So I thought that was really interesting and I kind of wanted a little bit more of that. I don't know how that would have highlighted into it, but that was just, that's just something that I can mention in passing. Overall, I really still like the book. I rated it 4.5 stars. Wasn't a full 5. I just feel like, because I think the buildup was just better. The climax just, I don't know, the climax was missing something for me, and so therefore I think the buildup of the story was better than the ending, but it was still excellent. And I know Emily Henry, this was her first foray into adult romance fiction, and she does YA, but I'd be really intrigued to see what her YA reads like. And it was really, really good. So 4.5 stars, the hype is real, definitely go check it out. The next book I read is Shy Girls Write It Better by May Sage. This was about a girl who is an assistant and she is a writer for erotic fiction and her boss finds her writing. So I thought it was going to be she was writing erotic fiction about him. I had expectations of it very differently than what it ended up being. It ended up being that she was a self-published writer, like I'm assuming like some of the self-published people that are like on, that do books for Kindle. And she is not writing about her boss. She's writing her own series and her boss just happens to find her manuscript. And not even her direct boss. It's like her CEO, which is even a little more intimidating. This is about Cassie and Carter. It was okay. I didn't really love it. It was cute, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be a little bit steamy, a little bit edgier, and it was just kind of cutesy and not very steamy. I mean, sex happens, but it wasn't like as steamy as I thought it was going to be. And then it just kind of ends. Like it just like all of a sudden it ends like very abruptly. And I'm like, what happened to the rest of the story, guys? I just felt like I was getting used to the characters, even liking the characters, and then it was gone. Which, I mean, it was a novella length. It's also one of those deceptive things on Kindle where it's like 80% is where it ends, and then 20% is like excerpts from other books. Which is fine. I expected longer. But if you get it, then just go into that knowing that. Because I hate when it like doesn't tell you that from the get-go. Because then it sets my expectations, guys. It sets my expectations of how much of a reading I'm going to get out of this book. So I rated Shy Girls Write It Better as like between a 2.5 and 3 star. Like, it was cute. There was some good moments, but the abrupt ending really kind of did it for me. And it was just I didn't really connect to the characters. It was just kind of meh. It was cute, but nothing really special. So, but I guess the excerpts at the end kind of worked, because the book that was the excerpt of Shy Girls Write It Better, there's an excerpt for a book called Scrooge McDuck. The title of that book kills me. Kills me. I love it so much. So I had to, and I read the excerpt and I was like, okay, this seems really interesting and I want to know more. That is a successful excerpt, but don't do it in the last 20%. That's just nonsense. It is about Ben and Piper. Piper is his assistant. Ben is a CEO. Piper calls him Scrooge McDuck because he is super hot and also super Scrooge, and just like gives her tasks that are like really terrible just because she just pisses him off. It kind of a little bit of a like a Beautiful Bastard vibe, a little bit, at least in the beginning. He sees her as like this socialite, which he's super against because he was burned before, and it was kind of like a enemies to lovers type of novella. It was really cute. It was actually really good, like way better than Shy Girls Write It Better. And I guess it's part of a series. It's the second book in the series. I forget what the name of the series is. I'll link it down below. And the first one was like just meh. It was just okay. But this one was really good. I really, really like this one. I really like Ben and Piper. I thought they had a full story. It still ended abruptly, and I didn't read the next excerpts. I was like, I'm done. This is the one I wanted to read. But even though it still ended abruptly, it still felt like a full story. There was this full story arc. Ben had a story arc. Piper had a story arc. I really believed their story. It ended up being really cute. I ended up rating 3.5 stars. Came close to a 4, and the reason it didn't is because there was like a couple times where there was just random flashbacks thrown in the middle of the chapter with no warning, and it was really jarring and really confusing. And I just think that writers should just know better and don't do that to your readers. It makes it really confusing. So I kind of had to knock it down a half point for that. But it came really close to 4 star. It was that good. Scrooge McDuck by May Sage. Worth reading. Shy Girls Write It Better. Not really. Shy Girls Write It Better also had this really weird preachy scene where Cassie, who's the writer, goes on like a tangent about how self-publishing is so much better and she gets more money that way and she doesn't have to deal with middlemen. And look, there's benefits to both self-publishing and traditional publishing. Obviously, it's harder to get traditional published, but there's benefits, there's minuses and positives for both. And it really turned me off. I think that's probably one of the reasons I had a problem time with it. That whole, like, I mean, it's like a good, like, 2 or 3 pages that she goes on about it in the very beginning. So it really turned me off, and it was obvious what the writer was doing. So, I mean, she's May Sage. I think she's just a predominantly, like, a self-published author. So, I mean, great for her, but I don't need to hear your preaching on self-publishing being the best thing ever, because I don't necessarily agree that it's for everyone. That was my wrap up for Contemporaryathon. I had a great time reading the contemporary books. I'm sorry I didn't get to do more. I probably could have fit at least one more full-length novel in, but again, I was reading other things and I didn't get a chance to. Oh, and I was also catching up on The Locker Room, which I didn't finish, but I did read more of. The Locker Room by Megan Quinn. But I will do my full wrap up later. Thanks so much for watching. If you read Beach Read or any of the May Sage books, let me know down in the comments. Let me know if there's any other May Sage books that I should really read. If they're anything similar to Scrooge McDuck, I will totally read it. Let me know down in the comments. All my social media is down below if you want to follow me on all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!